Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. Alright, today we're going to be having a look at the grain mill. So I've done a bit of testing, as you can see over here, and I'm going to run you through it on which crop is best at the mill. Now first things first, what you need to know is if you don't own the mill, it will be used just as a normal sell point. So if you want to take your stuff there and sell it rather than anywhere else, that's entirely up to you. But to use the grain mill, you do need to own it. So I've already bought it. As you can see there in the bottom right hand corner, it's saying materials missing. So we've got 5 litres left over from me test part. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up to the spanner, and it will take you straight into the production menu. So what you'll see in front of you there in the middle square, you've got the information saying that 150 wheat will give you 120 flour, 150 barley will give you 113, 150 oats will give you 188 flour, and 150 sorghum will give you 158. Now that's quite a lot of maths to be getting on with, and when you're playing a game you don't want to be going back to school. So what I'm going to do, I've got myself some crops ready to go. I've got wheat in the John Deere, barley in the Fent, oats in the Class, and in the JCB we've got the sorghum. So I'm going to jump in the John Deere. We'll do the wheat first, and what I'm going to see is how much you get out of each one from a trailer load perspective, shall we say. So pull up here, and there is one thing I have noticed with these unloading shenanigans, is if you jump out of the vehicle it will stop straight away. It won't carry on unloading like it did in 19. So keep that in mind, because you're going to have to unload the whole tanker, trailer, whatever you want to call it. So we'll put in 8,000 of each, so we get a good baseline on what we get out the other end. So that's 8,000 of wheat on the go, and as you can see now in the bottom right hand corner information screen, it's saying grain mill wheat flour running. So if we go back into here, there is one thing that you can also change, and I recommend doing this at the start before you put any grain in. Is if you go down to the outgoing products, you've got storing, which will just put it out the front here ready for you to do whatever you want to do with. You've then got selling. So what that will do, as soon as 1,000 litres has been produced, 1,000 litres of the flour, it will automatically sell it to, I'm assuming, an average price across the map. And then you've also got distributing. Now what that does, now bear this in mind as well, is if you own another production chain further up the chain, so for the grain mill that's going to be the bakery, it will automatically distribute that straight to the bakery. So that means that rather than having it stored up here and you having to load it onto a pallet, it's going to take it straight there for you. Now throughout my little testings I've done so far, it doesn't seem to be a cost for it. Now there is a cost for the running of the grain mill itself, but for the actual distribution that seems to be cost free from what I can see. If it's different for you, drop it down in the comments below and let me know. But from what I've seen so far, it's going to be free of charge on the distribution. So I don't own the bakery at the minute, so we're just going to leave it on storing. So we've got 8,000 litres in there, that's running. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fast forward a bit and we'll see how much we get out at the end. Okay, so all the wheat flour's done, and in the bottom corner it's saying 517 litres of flour. But, and this is a but, because obviously you can see these pallets here in front of us, it will put a pallet out here once it gets to 1,000 litres. So if you go up to this pallet there, it says there, owned by my farm, 230 kilo it'll weigh, so you're not going to be able to pick it up. It says there in top left hand corner, object too heavy, but it's saying 1,000 litres. So what we've produced here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6,000 litres and we've got 517 litres still left waiting to be filled up. So that's, out of the 8,000 that we put in, that's 6,500-ish litres. Right, I'll put it all on a table at the end and we'll see which one becomes more profitable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reset and we're going to get the barley on the go. Right, so we've reset. So we're in the Fent now. We've got the barley in the back, 8,000 litres, the same as the wheat. So we'll unload this as well, just the same as we did before. Just going to put the same amount in on all of them. So there's going to be no fluctuation in what we've put in. It's going to be exactly the same to find out what we got at the end of it. Right, so that's just finishing off there. Okay, we're off. So there we have it. Barley flour is running. So we'll see it all come out at the front. Just double check we got it on storing. Yep, we've got it on storing. So on the barley it's saying, so on the wheat, sorry, we had 150 wheat to 120 flour. That give us 6,500 litres. So with the barley, that's given us a little bit less, 150 to 113. So we'll see what that is on an 8,000 litre load. We'll see that at the end, and we'll see what the price is at the end of it all once we've done the oats and the sorghum. Right, so I'm going to fast forward this and we'll come back into it and see what we've got. Right, so that's finished. So what we've got on this one, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000. So we've got 1,000 litre pallets at the front and 172 left over. So 6,172. That's against the wheat, which is 6,500 and a bit. So not that much into it. I suppose over the longer run you are going to get more flour out of the wheat than out of the barley. Then again, it all depends on what you're growing. So that's something you may need to factor in when you're planting. Right, let's get this reset and we'll get the oats on the go. Right, so we're back up again. We've got the class. So we'll go and drop off these oats and see if that makes any difference. Now on the menu, this is the one that said it had the best ratio from from crops to output. So we'll see if that does actually pan out. Right, so that's all unloaded. There we are, saying in the bottom right hand corner, oat flour running. Let's double check we have got it on storing, which we have. Yeah, so the wheat is 150 to 120, barley 150 to 113, and oats 150 to 188. So with the oats you should get a higher output. So far wheat is winning. Wheat is the best crop to put in, giving you about 6,500 litres of wheat to your 8,000 putting in. So we'll find out whether oats can do any better. Right, let's fast forward this bit and we'll jump back to it. Okay, so all the oats are done. So what we've got left over waiting for a pallet to be ready, 236. But what we have got is a lot more out the front. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10,236. So that's a lot more. A way lot more than what the wheat was doing. 10,236. Okay, I'll put that into my chart that will show you at the end, and we'll get reset ready for the sorghum. Right, on to the last one. So we've got the sorghum in this one. So as with the previous three, we've got 8,000 litres. So we'll go and unload this and we'll see where this one comes out on a little chart that we're going to put up in a minute. So that's unloading nicely, remembering to stay in the tractor, otherwise it will stop, which is a bit of a strange thing. Well, I suppose if you're not in the tractor, why would it carry on unloading? Okay, right, so that's running. Sorghum flour running, 8,000 litres in. on storing. So I'll fast forward this bit and we'll see what comes out at the end. Right, so that's a sorghum dump. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 8,556 left in the grain mill, so that's 8,500 we've got off of that one. So let's have a look at this little chart we put up. So what I've put on here is what we've got out the grain mill, what that's going to sell at. Now when I checked in the shop menu, it was selling at 911 per 1,000 litres. So that's $911, pounds or euros per pallet, because it's 1,000 litres on a pallet. So that's 911 times whatever came out. So for wheat, we would have sold this flour for 5,921. But if we'd have sold the wheat directly at any sale point, whatever, the closest one I had at the time would have given us 5,696. So putting it through the grain mill roughly gives us 300, well, just over 200-ish pounds extra by turning it into flour. And that seems to be the theme across all of them, apart from the sorghum. The sorghum, we got nearly 2 grand extra. So that may be the way to go. If you want to use the grain mill, use the sorghum, because the barley and the oats, there wasn't much difference between selling it as a crop straight off the field or putting it through the grain mill and selling it as flour. That's not really that great, to be fair. You know, you thought with the production change coming up, it's going to add more money into it, although it is more money by putting it through the grain mill. But then again, you've got to put the cost of the grain mill on top of that as well. It doesn't really seem to be that viable an option, really, if you want to make money on it. We'll see if this changes. You know, any updates that come out of the game, this whole dynamic may change altogether. But as of today, as of recording this video, if you got the grain mill and you want to make extra money out of it, you're going to be needing to get some sorghum in there. Now that's it for me on this one. If you're going to be using the production chains, drop it in the comments below. Which one are you going to be looking to use? And I will see you in the next one.